It's Wednesday night and you know what that means. The commentary team was Excalibur, Taz, Tony Schiavone and William Regal was joining them for the first match. Maxwell Jacob Friedman vs. Wheeler Yuta. MJF started by doing a flare strut. Then Yuta hit an arm drag and did his own strut. Yuta with a dropkick followed by a lifting slam. MJF avoided a move when Yuta was on the top rope, so MJF sent Yuta into the middle turnbuckle. MJF pulled on the arm of Yuta and sent him into the turnbuckle. Yuta with a jawbreaker, but MJF came back with a backbreaker followed by a spinning slam. They went to a picture-in-picture break. They do show the pip action here in Canada on TSN, but I don't write about it. They were both down as the show returned. Yuta got an inside cradle for 2. MJF sent Yuta to the apron. Yuta went back into the ring and hit 3 straight German suplexes. MJF tried to fight it and Yuta hit a 4th German suplex. Yuta went up top, so MJF rolled to the other corner. Yuta charged. MJF elbowed him in the face and hit a double stomp to the left arm. Yuta went for a Hurricane Rana type move, but MJF countered with a powerbomb onto the knee like a backbreaker. Ouch! The fans were chanting for both guys. MJF with slaps, then Yuta slapped back and MJF did a thumb to the eye. Yuta did an enziguri kick to the head. They went into a sequence where they were each going for pinfalls and kept kicking out of it. It was more than 10 times total. They fought over a tombstone. Then Yuta slipped out of it and there were more pin attempts by both guys. When they got back up, they hit a double clothesline leading to both guys laying on the mat selling. The fans gave them a huge ovation with Yuta chants. MJF charged. Yuta avoided him and Yuta punched MJF to knock him down. Yuta went up top, but MJF went to the ropes to trip him up. MJF was on the turnbuckle. He teased a tombstone. Yuta broke free. Then Yuta did an eye gouge and Yuta hit a Hurricane Rana off the top rope. MJF bumped to the floor, so Yuta hit a suicide dive into the barricade at ringside. Yuta sent MJF back into the ring. Yuta up top. MJ rolled away and did a middle finger salute. Yuta jumped across the ring with a superfly splash for a 2 count. The fans chanted "This is awesome" for them. Yuta elbowed MJF in the head repeatedly. MJF got out of a submission attempt and MJF applied the salt of the earth armbar on the left arm. Yuta tried to get his boot on the rope, but MJF spun around with the armbar pulling on the arm. Yuta tapped out to give MJF the win. It went about 15 minutes. Winner by submission, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Yuta wanted a handshake while pointing out the crowd was cheering them. MJF nearly shook his hand, but Lee Moriarty of the firm attacked Yuta from behind. MJF told Moriarty he didn't tell him to do that. Stokely Hathaway showed up to give MJF the Dynamite diamond ring. William Regal arrived with the brass knuckles and got into the ring with MJF while Yuta went to the floor. The fans chanted "You effed up" at MJF, who decided to walk away and left to the back. There was a video package about the main event with Chris Jericho Sammy Guevara facing Bryan Danielson Daniel Garcia. They showed the Jericho Appreciation Society group backstage with Tony Schiavone interviewing them. There were brief comments from some of the guys about Daniel Garcia teaming against them. Chris Jericho talked about how he taught Daniel Garcia how to be a successful sports entertainer. Sammy Guevara said if you don't make the right decision, they will end you. Jericho said that he's going to beat Danielson next week on Dynamite in Toronto and still be the Ocho. Darby Allin vs. Jay Lethal. They had no allies at ringside. They did some mat wrestling to start as they exchanged headlocks along with armbars. Lethal sent Allin to the floor. Allin was back in and Allin hit a springboard arm drag. Allin with a leg trip, but Lethal was quick on his feet. Lethal didn't want a handshake, so he kicked Allin in the ribs. Lethal with a monkey flip across the ring and Lethal hit a dropkick to the knee. Lethal stomped on the left knee to work on the leg a bit. Allin grabbed a tight headlock. Lethal elbowed the left quad leg area a bit and Allin hit a reverse DDT for 2 as they went to a pit break. Lethal was in control as he continued to work on the left knee of Allin with a dragon screw leg whip. Lethal applied a figure 4 leglock near the ropes, so he pulled Allin away from the ropes a bit. Allin managed to get to the ropes to break the hold. Lethal went for a move, Alin avoided it and Alin got a code red flipping move into a pin for 2. Lethal's buddy Sanjay Dutt Satnam Singh appeared on the ramp. Alin was distracted by it. Lethal tripped up Alin on the turnbuckle and Lethal told his buddies to go back. Alin came back with a Hurricane Rana. Then they kept rolling through 4 pin attempts and Alin applied the last supper pin attempt for the pinfall win after 11 minutes. Winner by pinfall, Darby Allin. TNT Championship, Wardlow vs. Brian Cage, Prince Nana. They are 2 very muscular guys. Cage opened with punches, but Wardlow came back with more punches along with shoulder tackles. Cage bounced back with a clothesline that did not lead to a knockdown. They exchanged punches again. Wardlow ran the ropes and hit a Hurricane Rana to a big pop. Cage with a head scissors into the ropes. When Cage tried the swinging kick by the ropes, 619, Wardlow caught him and hit a power slam. Nana was on the apron. The referee was distracted by that, so Cage countered a Wardlow move with an impressive Alabama slam leading to a pip break. The match continued with Wardlow hitting a German suplex and a belly-to-belly suplex across the ring. Wardlow went up top, Cage jumped up with a kick and Cage hit a superplex from the middle ropes while Wardlow was standing on the apron. That was an impressive move leading to a 2 count. Wardlow escaped Cage's attempt at a move leading to Wardlow hitting a spinebuster for 2. Cage hit a move, I missed it, for a 2 count. Cage did a taunt while doing the move, so Wardlow hit 2 headbutts along with a wind-up lariat. Wardlow hit a powerbomb. Wardlow celebrated that and then he hit a second powerbomb. Wardlow walked around the ring a bit with the fans wanting to see more. Wardlow hit a 3rd powerbomb, then a roll through into a 4th powerbomb for the pinfall win after 10 minutes. Winner by pinfall, Wardlow. The other 2 members of the embassy, Gates of Agony's Khan and Toa Liona, attacked Wardlow with Cage joining them. Samoa Joe made the save by brawling with the guys in the embassy group. The embassy trio were fighting back, so then FTR went out to the ring to make the save. The heels retreated at that point. The fans popped big for the saves by Joe and FTR in that spot. There was a promo from Dr. Britt Baker DMD saying that Saraya will not be wrestling in you. The dentist Baker claimed that the doctors have not medically cleared her. Baker said that means this is her house. Penelope Ford, W/Kip Sabian, Serena Deeb Jamie Hayter, W/Dr. Britt Baker DMD Rebel, vs. Athena, Willow Nightingale Toni Storm, W/Saraya. Hayter was cheered even though she's a heel, so they should really turn her face. Ford wins the best outfit among the 6 women in the match. Just saying. Ford started with Athena leading to Ford jumping off the ropes. Athena caught her and Athena hit a power slam. Ford drove Athena into the heel corner. Deeb tagged in leading to Deeb chants. Deeb is from nearby Virginia, and Deeb hit an uppercut. Athena with a springboard cross-body block. Storm tagged in with a dropkick, then a toss across the ring and Storm was punching Deeb in the back. Storm bounced off the ropes with a kick followed by a running back elbow in the corner. The Damas referee was distracted, so Athena, Willow and Storm all hit running corner attacks. Storm knocked the other heels off the apron, so Deeb did a chop block to take control. That led to a pip break. Deeb got a takedown followed by a leg whip on the left leg of Storm, which sent Storm's leg into the mat. Deeb and Hayter each hit suplexes on Athena, Willow while Deeb branched on Storm's left leg at the same time. Storm kicked Ford away. Deeb back in. Storm broke free from her and Willow tagged in against Hayter. The announcers were overrating the Willow Hayter match from last week on Rampage. Willow hit a spinebuster on Hayter. Deeb tagged in and choked Willow against the middle rope. Rebel grabbed a crutch at ringside. Saraya grabbed the crutch from her and the heels ran away. Willow got an inside cradle on Deeb for 2. Willow ran the ropes leading to the pounce on Deeb. Ford back in with a spin kick on Willow. Athena with a slam on Ford. Deeb with a spear on Athena. Then the other girls did moves on each other including Ford hitting a cutter on Willow for 2. Ford went for a move off the ropes, but Willow hit her with a dropkick. Willow hit a Dr. Bomb on Ford for the pinfall win after 13 minutes. I guess the other women were all on the floor selling. Winners by pinfall, Athena, Willow Nightingale Toni Storm. After the match, Baker got into the ring with Saraya. Baker trash-talked Saraya, so Saraya punched her. Baker and Saraya got into a fight while the other women started fighting as well. Saraya sent Baker out of the ring. Saraya kicked Treble in the face to knock her out of the ring. Saraya said, "This is my house," as usual to end it. The announcers said it looked like Saraya may have been cleared. Let's hear from the Acclaimed Day National Scissoring Day. Max Caster and Anthony Bowens aka Tag Team Champions. The Acclaimed arrived with Billy Gunn aka Daddy Ass. Caster did a rap. There were giant scissors with shirts that said "Scissor Me, Daddy Ass" as well. They had a podium in the ring with Bowens welcoming us to National Scissoring Day. Bowens said they were the most popular team in wrestling, the winningest team in U history and the best homegrown team in U history. Bowens said that the "Scissor Me, Daddy Ass" t-shirt is the #1 selling shirt in 2022. Bowens said that most importantly they brought home gold. Bowens said that U now stands for Acclaimed every Wednesday. Bowens said that they celebrate by scissoring, while adding that he knows a thing or two about scissoring. I thought it was a clever line by Bowens, who is an openly gay wrestler and the first gay champion in U. Bowens said Babe Ruth was the Sultan of SWAT, while adding that Bowens is the Sultan of Scissor. Bowens said that scissoring is a handshake, a sign of friendship and a sign of a true team. Bowens said that they know the people want to be represented by a true team, not two people thrown together like Keith Lee and Sneaky Swerve. Bowens ripped on Swerve, saying he was wrong, while adding that everyone loves the Acclaimed. Bowens said that this isn't Swerve's house. Gunn said that this is Daddy Ass house. Gunn said for everyone in the building and the millions of people at home, it's National Scissoring Day. Said he went to City Hall and asked if he could present them with this. Gunn revealed something that was wrapped in gold and the Acclaimed revealed they were big scissors. Bowens ran with the scissors, so Gunn said no running with scissors. Caster encouraged the fans to do some scissoring with the people they are seated near. The fans were doing it. Caster spoke about how about 40 years ago, greatness was achieved when Washington won the Super Bowl. That's Super Bowl 17. Caster said he wasn't born yet, but it means a lot to him because his dad was on his team. Bowens said that he achieved that greatness, and he's proud of that Super Bowl ring. Caster said that everybody loves the Acclaimed and said that they are going to do the bipartisan scissor to unite this country. There's the interruption from Swerve. Swerve Strickland appeared on the stage with a microphone in hand. Swerve congratulated the Acclaimed for having the #1 t-shirt on Shop U. Swerve complained about how Billy Gunn is the reason why Swerve and Keith Lee lost the titles. Swerve referenced Gunn being a part of D-Generation X and how kids were suspended in schools for doing moves, crotch chops, just like they will be for this. Swerve challenged Gunn to a match next week on Dynamite in Toronto. Swerve had a rock in his hand, saying that Rock beats scissors every day. Smart Mark Sterling showed up with a contract saying that paper covers rock. Sterling said that the Acclaimed needed him. Sterling said he wanted them to scissor him. They gave Sterling a body slam and Bowens hit a leg drop near the groin area. Gunn accepted Swerve's challenge, followed by the Acclaimed with Gunn doing the scissor handshake. Madison Rayne and Sky Blue were interviewed by Tony Schiavone. Anna Jay and Tay Mello interrupted doing their mean girl routine. Sky challenged them to a match on Rampage. Anna and Tay accepted, saying that sports entertainers always beat pro wrestlers. Hangman Adam Page vs. Rush, W/Jose the assistant. There was no mention of Andre Del Idolo, who got into a fight with Sammy Guevara backstage before the show according to TMZ Sports. They got into a slugfest right away, Page with chops to the chest and Page went to the apron, so Rush did a pose on the mat. Jose grabbed Page's leg, so Rush hit a forearm that sent Page off the apron to the floor. Jose was distracting referee Aubrey Edwards, so Rush hit Page with the cable and choked Page with the cable. Rush sent Page into the barricade, leading to a hip break. Rush with a forearm to the head. Then he ran the ropes and Page caught Rush, leading to a full-away slam across the ring. Page sent Rush out of the ring, followed by Page hitting a dive onto Rush on the floor. Back in the ring, Page hit the Death Valley driver for a 2 count. Rush managed to get some offense going with some strikes. They did this spot in the corner with Rush standing on his shoulders, so Page was able to flip over and get a pin attempt for 2. Page to the apron. Jose grabbed the foot again. The referee saw it and did nothing. She should eject the guy from ringside. Page jumped into the ring. but Rush caught him leading to a piledriver. Rush was bleeding from the nose. Rush charged at Page, but Page hit him with a clothesline. Page to the apron, then he jumped into the ring with the buckshot lariat for the pinfall win after 9 minutes. Winner by pinfall, Hangman Adam Page. The U World Champion Jon Moxley arrived at ringside after walking in from the back of the building. Moxley shook his head no while Private Party backed away from the fight. Moxley got into the ring with Page. They are going to have a new world title match in 13 days in Cincinnati on a Tuesday Dynamite. Moxley said he's been waiting for this for 3 years of Dynamite because he knew this was coming. Moxley said it was 3 years of them circling Ecother. Moxley said between the two of them they've beaten everybody there is to beat new except Ecother. Moxley said that in Cincinnati in the arena he grew up in on October 18th there will be one last man standing in the ring. Moxley said he's going to break his face and choke him until he turns blue because he's in the way of Moxley being the one true top guy in you, the world champion and the best in the world. Moxley said he respects Page's abilities, he respects him as a person. But when the bell rings he doesn't have respect for anything. When Moxley was about to leave, Page said if you've been waiting for this for so long, where are you going right now? Moxley said that Page is a sweet kid, but like a lot of kids around here, saying stupid shit, it was muted, gets you in trouble. Moxley gave him a warning while telling Hangman to watch his mouth. MJF was shown watching with a poker chip in his hand. Willow Nightingale was interviewed by Tony Schiavone. Willow said that at Battle of the Belts, she wanted to challenge for the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill, the TBS champion, walked into the picture with her friends. Jade said she's beaten Willow twice and she'll be number 39. Willow said Jade can't win forever, so what if Willow wins and it becomes 38-1 with Willow becoming the one? Luchasaurus, W/Christian Cage, vs. Fuego del Sol charged. Luchasaurus gave him a chokeslam. Luchasaurus with a slam off his shoulders called the cutthroat for the pinfall win after about 30 seconds. Winner by pinfall, Luchasaurus. Christian wanted Luchasaurus to do more, so Jungle Boy walked out there with a steel chair. Boy knocked Luchasaurus out of the ring with Christian holding Luchasaurus back. Jungle Boy told Luchasaurus he was his best friend, but then Luchasaurus chose Christian and Boy said that Luchasaurus broke his heart. Boy said that he'll break him. Boy told Luchasaurus to pick the time and place. Christian responded saying that if they pick the time and place leading to saying that match won't happen in front of these losers. Christian said it will be next Wednesday on Dynamite in Christian's hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. That's a place I like too. Bryan Danielson Daniel Garcia vs. Chris Jericho Sammy Guevara. Jericho wanted a handshake. Garcia shook his hand and they locked up with Jericho hitting an arm drag. Garcia tripped up Jericho, then sat on his back to prevent Jericho from getting up. Garcia slapped Jericho in the back of the head a bit while sitting on him. They exchanged some chops. Jericho knocked Garcia down and Sammy tagged in. Garcia hit a dropkick to the left knee. Bryan tagged in with a running kick on Jericho on the apron to knock Kris down. Bryan with an uppercut shot followed by kicks to the body. Then Bryan did a backflip and hit a suicide dive on Jericho, who was just standing on the floor. Bryan with a forearm to stop a Sammy dive. They went to a picture-in-picture break as Bryan hit a missile dropkick. Bryan was in control of Sammy with a suplex. Bryan went to the turnbuckle. Jericho held his leg and Sammy hit a Spanish fly slam off the top rope for a 2 count. That was a rough landing for Bryan, landing hard on his left arm, but I think he was okay. Jericho and Sammy did a double team shoulder block followed by a cheesy pose. Excalibur kept on thanking TBS for letting them go past 2 hours. Bryan and Sammy ran the ropes leading to a running cross body block. Garcia and Jericho got tags at the same time leading to a stare down between them. Sammy jumped off the top rope, but Garcia was ready for him with a punch. Jericho and Garcia got into a hockey fight as they exchanged punches followed by Garcia stomping on Jericho against the turnbuckle. Garcia with a hard slap leading to a belly-to-back suplex. Garcia with a running par kick. Jericho was back up going for the walls of Jericho, but Garcia countered it into a dragon tamer that's like a sharpshooter, but not exactly the same form. Sammy broke that up with a super kick on Garcia. Sammy hit a dive over the top onto Bryan on the floor. The fans were chanting "You still suck" on Sammy. Jericho worked over Garcia with chops. Jericho went for a lionsault, but Garcia got the knees up. Sammy tagged in. Garcia got him in an armbar. Jericho into the ring. Bryan took him down with a lapel lock, but then the heels managed to get out of it. Bryan and Garcia each did elbow smashes on their opponents. Bryan and Garcia went for a suplex on Sammy off the top, but Sammy landed on his feet. Sammy with a standing Spanish fly on Bryan, then a lifting slam leading to a kick to Garcia's back. Sammy went for the GTH knee. Garcia blocked it. Garcia with a hard slap to the face and Garcia hit a piledriver. Garcia was looking at Jericho, then Garcia put his feet by the ropes for the pin to make it too obvious that Jericho would break up the pin, which Kris did. Bryan hit a knee on Jericho and the floor. Sammy and Garcia exchanged moves in the ring leading to a clothesline and both guys were down. Jericho tried to put Bryan through the table. That was botched and then Jericho gave Bryan a suplex through the table at ringside. Sammy hit the GTH knee on Garcia with no cover attempt for some reason. Sammy went up very slowly. Sammy jumped off the top with a shooting star press, but Garcia got the knees up to block. Garcia applied the Dragon Slayer submission, then Garcia had to lean towards the ropes for yet another obvious spot as Jericho hit Garcia in the head with a title belt. The referee didn't see it and she apparently can't hear it. Bryan was still down on the table. Sammy covered Garcia for the pinfall win after 14 minutes. Winners by pinfall: Chris Jericho. Sammy Guevara. Jericho and Sammy celebrated the win while the other members of the Jericho Appreciation Society arrived to join the celebration. Jericho stared at Garcia in the ring while Garcia was holding his head. Jericho left with his group. That was the end of the show at 10:15 p.m. ET. As they mentioned before the show that it would be 15 minutes longer this week.